one fall or remaining television time. In the red corner at 244 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Paul Orndorf. And in the blue corner at 241 pounds from parts unknown, the Mississippi heavyweight champion, Mr. Olympia.
Your next event, Paul Orndorf versus the Mississippi heavyweight title holder, Mr. Olympia. Alfred Neely called for the bell. Bill, I asked Paul Orndorf about him when he comes in the ring with that #1 up. He said that signified that he's the world's greatest athlete, whether it's wrestling or what other sport.
Well, I'll tell you, like him or not, he can certainly back up a lot of it. I'll guarantee you the crowd starts rumbling when he goes in because they know one thing. It's going to be non-stop action. I watched back on a home television recorder that match of Ted DiBiase and Paul Orndorf some 2 weeks ago for the North American title. The match, actually, that was a match that had a new champion, but the new champion lost it in 30 seconds because of the unusual stipulation that was in there where disqualifications counted as a pinfall, and they went 16 minutes, and I was watching that match at my home after playing racquetball with Tommy Evans, who was a two-time NCAA champion and twice outstanding man in the tournament, and was on 2 United States Olympic teams. Great amateur, former coach at the University of Oklahoma when I was down there, and when the present coach Stanley Abel was down there, and was a teammate of Danny Hodges. And Tommy Evans just sat there and shook his head, and he said these guys went 16 minutes of non-stop action. At their size, he said, what tremendous condition, what action it is. And this is just what happens when you have these great athletes. And this Mr. Olympia and Paul Orndorf has started off at that same breakneck pace. And Paul Orndorf, you know, he is so cocky. And he just can't believe it when somebody scores a great move on him. He thinks he's really invincible.
Well, after gaining the Mississippi title over Bob Orton Jr., one of the top grapplers in the world, and now stalling the tactics of #1, Paul Orndorf, there'll have to be a lot of respect shown from a lot of different quarters for Mr. Olympia, who's burst upon the scene and has a qualification to back him up in that ring.
Let me tell you, you've got to be pretty much a blind fool if you take a look at Mr. Olympia with a finely conditioned body and then watch him move. You know, you can see a lot of guys with great bodies, but they can't move. And then when he's got that quickness and that change of pace and that fire, and when you see a guy sting him like Orndorf does and see him reach down and bring it on back, you've got to realize that that was no accident when he beat Bob Orton Jr. That's just Bob Orton Jr.'s excuse for losing the title. Paul Orndorf is finding out this man's for real. Because #1 will test you. He'll test you mentally. He'll test you physically. There's nobody with a greater ego. I mean nobody with a greater ego than Paul Orndorf. He's consumed by it. He's got a lot of pride. A lot of pride. You believe me? The true verbiage and pride goeth before a fall. Paul Orndorf is typified as that, but I'll guarantee you when he falls, you got to make him fall because he'll fight you all the way down. What a great match between these two men. Orndorf clotheslined him. What a move. You see, that's what I mean. Orndorf is a true student of it. He watches everybody and sees a move they make, and then he'll try to take that same move and add something to it to make it more devastating and more effective. And he just about decapitated Mr. Olympia. And I'm sure in Mr. Olympia's young career, wherever all his background has been, because he's kept his identity a secret, that's the first time that's ever happened to him. But also, I'll guarantee you, when you get a lesson like that, you'll go back and look at the tapes and look at the films. And that lesson will stay in your mind because it was put there so effectively. That's if he gets a chance to look at him, because the way Paul Orndorf is kicked into gear, he's one man that when he gets you down and at his mercy, he doesn't relent. He stays right on top of you. And he's trying to physically break through you. He wants you to know he's #1. Mr. Olympia, again, that's what I'm talking about. When you got him down, he'll still reach down and go into that intestinal fortitude. And that's what champions are made of. Strong people do what they can. Weak people do what they must. I read that saying in a book somewhere that day. I think it really applies here. Strong people do whatever they can, and weak people do what they must. And there you see two strong men. And And one of them has got a break out there for at least 3 seconds, or go right on off the air for the rest of television time. High risk move here by Orndorf. But Olympia is pretty well, looks like, there goes the count, 1, 2. I thought Ralph Neely was going for the 3, and Orndorf's on him. Orndorf's on him, but the crowd is saying, no, he only had 2. And Neely says only 2. Power slam! Orndorf's got him now. Olympia's down for the count. He came out, boy. You were getting ready to hit the bell.
I had the bell ringer in my hand. That was it.
The crowd can't believe it. Neither can Orndorf. Can't believe it. Olympia came out. He's fighting for his life out there. Another slam by Orndorf. Knee drop. Covers him again. He can't hold him for the 3.
He can't put him away. He has him 2 and twice on the downstroke of the 3rd count for the victory, and he couldn't put him away.
There he goes to the figure 4. The way he's trying to insult Nebias, and that backfired. But Orndorf back to his feet. There goes for the, looks like the pile driver like Bob Orton Jr. used. Mr. Olympia came out of it, Boyd.
He couldn't put him over on the pile driver.
We're seeing Paul Orndorf's going to really start wondering what it takes. We're seeing a really great athlete pull out all stops to survive right here. 3 times Paul Orndorf, 4 times. Paul Orndorf had him for the sure count. You raised your hand to ring the bell, waiting for the referee's signal. The sleeper. The sleeper. I think Orndorf is stunned. He better get out of it. He doesn't have a lot of time once he hooks that sleeper.
Olympia applying that pressure on him, Bill.
Paul Orndorf's face is bewildered as his air supply to the brain through the carotid arteries is clenched off. Paul Orndorf is going down. He's going down. Neely's there checking him. As soon as he's helpless, Neely calls a fall to prevent possible damage. There it is!
Paul Orndorf brought that sleeper to the end, but it was the end and a victory for the Mississippi heavyweight champion, Mr. Olympia. We still have some time, so we'll be back with more action after this word from Mid-South Wrestling.